How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the 1894. I'm Darryl. Got Joe me here today for the preview of the Chelsea match. You already know the score. Let's get right into it. Right, so we know our recent record against Chelsea. We haven't beat them in 3 games. The last time we did beat them, we made pretty easy work with them. That was when Lampard was there. But we're going into this game now. We've obviously come off very, very boring draw against Southampton. But then midweek we put 6 past Wickham. I don't know if that's anything to go off really there, League One. But I'm looking at that Southampton game and I'm saying we can't start certain players. We can't. Some of the players were off form. I thought Gundogan was pretty poor. He won't be travelling. I don't think, Joe, would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, he wasn't pictured with the squad, so I don't think he's there.
No, and look, it's not gonna. I wouldn't say it make a difference with the amount of midfielders we have. But getting into Chelsea, they're on a great run of form. Don't think they've lost this season. I think they just about edged Villa in the League Cup midweek. But it's a game I'm really not looking forward to. Before I talk about it, Joe, what are you making of the tie?
Just try not to get beat is the main objective. It is, you see people on Twitter saying, Chelsea are being talked about as some sort of, unbeatable, invincible team. And while they are beatable, because Tuchel doesn't have he's not unbeaten in his whole entire time at Chelsea. They're just by far and away the best team in the league at the moment. It's, and we're going to their place. It's very easy to see where we could get beat, considering they have the mental advantage, having, 100% record with Tuchel as Chelsea manager over us. We haven't beaten them yet. We've come close, but we haven't beaten them. So obviously the mental part of it plays into it. I just, I think when we did the preview for the month in general, I think the consensus was if we can get out of Stamford Bridge with a point, I'd be pretty happy with that.
I completely agree. Chelsea, they're missing a couple of, I think, sorry, they're only missing one key player. They're missing Mason Mount, who Joe told me a stat before we recorded this. He scored, I think it was 1 goal and got 3 assists in how long?
I can't remember. I think Football for All said it, but he's not. I think he started the season pretty slow in terms of club-wise. When he plays for England, he's just not that great. I can say that as, I am English. I do watch the national team quite a bit. He's just not all that. Although last season for Chelsea, he was good. He was their main man at times. So, he still is a big miss, despite how poor he may have started the season, just because of what he can do.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're missing Pulisic as well, but that kind of just makes it look like Werner's going to start in the wing, have Havertz play beside Lukaku as well. Still going to be a very, very tough side. Like, I don't think Mason Mount's going to take an unmissable amount of quality out of that, so the defence is going to have to be in top shape. But speaking of defence, we brought a couple of centre-halves with us. We didn't think we were going to see them. We thought it was going to be Diaz and Ake. But Simon Baljowski reported earlier that Stones and Laporte both been saying with travelling squad, and I think everyone kind of rejoiced in this because I think if we were going into these 3 games all the way with Ake and Diaz as our only centre halves, and maybe Mbete if you count him as well, he was pretty good against Wickham, I think we would have been slapped. And that's coming up against 3 of the best forward lines in the world, and now we have a bit of depth coming in. Whether it's full fitness, Stones, full fitness support or not, it's still people there. It's maybe a bit more confident going in, but it's going to be it's going to be a hard game. Like we said, Chelsea, they're very, very good at the back. They set up with 5. And then 2 holding midfielders ahead of them. It's genuinely going to be one of the harder games. Right? It's going to be like going to Burnley. It's like going to the dentist. Tuchel has them set up so well. But Joe, do you see any way of us breaking them down at all?
We can, because we do have that quality. We do have 2 of the most creative players in world football currently fit and available to play. In De Bruyne and Jack Grealish, they have some of the highest creative numbers in Europe, in just football in general, of the last couple of seasons. So we do have it there. Again, it's the whole number 9. Chelsea have something that we don't at the moment, and that is a full, out-and-out number 9 who can do everything in Lukaku, who I think me and you both agree would have done many things to be able to see him in a City shirt, because it's the one player that has stopped it's the one weakness we have in the squad. We always talk about left back, and left back isn't a problem anymore. Cancelo's just fitting there. I think he's a left back because he's not getting a right back because Walker's too good and consistent. So I don't think left back is necessarily a problem for us anymore. It is that number 9. We've tried Sterling there, it doesn't work. We've tried Torres there, it works at times, but others it doesn't. He can sometimes, not be in the game, especially when it comes to the bigger games, tougher defences like a Chelsea. I think I'm reserving my judgment a bit because I haven't really seen him have a test like this in this position. I just, if we get a chance, we're going to have to take it because you don't get many against this Chelsea defence.
Yeah, exactly. And look, we're going to be talking about it now in a minute when it comes to it. We're going to play a striker, we're going to play a false 9. But on that note, let's get into the team prediction. Right, so coming back into this weekend now, we have a refreshed squad. We got a week off really with the Wickham game. Thank God, we still put 6 past them. But we're coming in, we know who's travelled. That's the advantage of recording late at night, I suppose. But we have Edison, we have Walker, Diaz, Laporte and Cancelo, all 5 of which are rested for the game. Joe, what do you make of that defence? Think it's enough to stop Lukaku and them boys?
Well, if it's not, then we're clearly doing something wrong because that is the strongest back line we're going to have all season until at least January. But why would you sign anyone? That defence is more than good enough to stop, most teams. Am I expecting a clean sheet? Who knows? We'll, say the score predictions later, but if there's a way that we're going to stop this Chelsea attack, I think it is with that back line. I do think that is the strongest one we've got at the moment, regardless of whether Laporte is, 100% fit or not. I do think that's the strongest it's going to get. But moving on to midfield, defensive midfield in front of them, Rodri has obviously travelled as well. He is fit enough to travel. Fernandinho wasn't great against Southampton. He got taken off, probably rightly so. I think, I still would have trusted Fernandinho to play this game, but Rodri has been better and he's clearly the first choice and I'm happy to see him back. And then in front of him, Gundogan hasn't travelled, so pretty slim pickings. I think he will go for De Bruyne, who got the 90 minutes against Wickham. He definitely played, he started, he scored. Good to see him get even more minutes. And Bernardo, who got a rest against Wickham. I think he could be crucial because he's, Duracell bunny. He runs around a lot. He does offer that press that we're going to need because of the amount of bodies they have when they are in possession at the back. Obviously, with the 2 midfielders and the 5 defenders, they have a lot of bodies there to pass it to. So I think pressing could be key in the way that we press them. Obviously, trying not to get too, sucked in too much. But I think, with the lack of options, I think he will go for that.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I think it's the strongest midfield we can possibly look at, especially when you see the forward line. But speaking of the forward line, we have Foden on the right, Grealish on the left. Obviously, you can switch and change whatever you want. Torres then through the middle. And we were actually, before we said this, we were considering the false 9 maybe have, then we realised, actually funny enough, that Gundogan is injured and probably not going to play, and we didn't want Sterling to start. Not great at all. Don't want him anywhere near the team. But this whole 11 is the best 11 we have this season. I think you'd agree, Joe, wouldn't you?
Yeah, this is the strongest we're going to get based on form, at least at the moment, with a fully fit squad.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very good team. I think it's well enough to beat Chelsea. I think it's well enough to beat any team in the world. When everyone's on form, I don't want to beat them up just for them to go out and lose 2-0 now tomorrow. But that's not going to be the team he picks. We all know he's going to throw a spanner in the works. He won't play a DM, play 5 back and do something weird. We're all looking forward to that. We're all looking forward to a boring 0-0 draw. But speaking of 0-0 draws, Joe, what's your score prediction?
I think I'm going to do something that I don't think has ever been done.
Don't do it.
And
I know what you're going to say.
I'm not predicting City to win, but I just cannot predict us to lose. I cannot. I think we'll come out with a 1-1 draw. It won't be the most entertaining game because it's not set out to be the most entertaining game. I think we'll be fine for the most part as long as we're not chasing the game for, a long period of time. If we concede early on, then we could easily get hit for about 3 on the counter, because that is our main weakness. Teams who play on the counter, getting a goal and sitting back and soaking up the pressure. So I just think 1-1, I would be happy with that. Very happy.
Do you know what, Rui? I'm going to predict Shine's going to be stopped. I'm going to go 1-0 City. And you know what? I'm going to have it that Chelsea will have 2 shots on target or something like that, and City will just dominate it. And we'll all sit back and we'll go, what are we worried about this week? And then we'll realise we have Paris on Wednesday. It's going to be great. I can't wait. But on that note, thanks for watching. Share it around, do all that kind of stuff. Get it out. We're going to have this up the night before the game, hopefully. So share it around. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.